What's up? Just 350JP at the house. Okay, this is called Thinking in Georgia. I got a message from a subscriber, yes, and he was, asking me some questions and stuff about Japan. First of all, finish school, do all your concentrations on school. Don't even think about these women until you graduate. I mean, be friends with them, all that stuff, but all the other stuff, leave it alone. And the reason I say this is because once you graduate, you have a lot of other things to do, and you should stay focused on your career and stuff like that. And then if you want a woman to enter your life, that's fine, but, there's a lot of things that you need to talk about, because what you need to understand about relationships is that people are attracted to a person because something that person does to make them feel good about themselves, or they got these feelings, basically make them feel good about themselves, So, like if I was walking down the street and I see a girl dressed in something nice, and maybe she got like a nice body or something, or a nice smile, like, wow, because I see that, it just get all my emotions and hormones and everything all going, and I'm like, oh, I want to be with her. And then I go over there and start talking to her, and then, she might be a nice person. We start going out and stuff like that. But then, I still have to consider, which most people don't, that, she has her life and her priorities and her whatever it is that she wants, the things that she wants to do. And if we don't sit down and actually talk about those things, then sure, we can have fun, superficially, but when things start, when you really have to start, grinding and stuff like that, she might end up getting some job in another state, or got to go back, or do whatever, working, 10 hours a day or something like that, and we can only meet on maybe a Sunday, but then, she might be tired and want to sleep, and then, what do I do? You know what I'm saying? So, we got all that stuff to do, and then if you're dating for a long time and all you're doing is just meeting each other on the weekend and going out and having sex, and then, the same routine every week, that stuff would get boring. And a lot of people, they'll how can I say that? They'll just get bored, and then they'll look for someone else when, there are a lot of things to do. And so you have to really think about those shit. So right now, if I were you, I wouldn't really worry about it. I concentrate on school. You were saying something about like the 3 strikes or something, right? That you're not in the mainstream America or whatever, except for those 2 things you listed. Out here, most Japanese girls, when they come home, they're gonna just fall back into their mode of things, what they used to do out here in Japan, and things like that, and they're just gonna fall back, and they got their parents, if they're living with their parents and things like that, they still got their Japanese life that they have to do while they're here. Now in America, they're free to do whatever they want, and they could really have a good time and do a lot of stuff. But when they come to Japan, it's a whole different story. So you might, let's say if you do find someone you fall in love with and happen to come out here, to visit, excuse me, that's fine. But, if you're talking about living, let's say, like, I'm not saying you can teach yourself, because, if you got that kind of degree and stuff like that, you can do your work in a degree too, and, there's a lot of stuff that you could do. Don't look at English like just teaching, only English, because there's a lot of business English out here. Whatever your degree is that you're getting into, there's a lot of people out here that's doing the same thing. And right now, a lot of people just trying to learn that English so they can go to America and just do these businesses and stuff like that. And so if I were you, I just would concentrate on that. Another thing is, the whole thing about it is, like, I tell a lot of people, or I should say, I'll just say it now. I'm not sure if I did before. I'm sure I did though. But when you're talking to Japanese women in the States, and if they're Japanese Americans, then it's going to be really different than talking to a Japanese woman that was born in Japan, born and raised in Japan. And sure, they could take on the culture and everything here, there. But like I said, when they come out here, it's a whole different story. And that's like if you marry a Japanese woman, in the States, she's Japanese, but when she comes to Japan, it's not going to be the same. It's just not going to be the same. It's going to be real different. She's going to have a hard time too, unless she just know what to do. But basically, if you want to make money, it's that English thing, or you just got to make your own business and stuff like that. So you don't have any strikes against you, except for where you live at and stuff, right, in Georgia. But hooking up with them and being friends, you got Facebook, you got all these social sites and stuff like that. If you were here in Japan, it's a whole different story, because when you walk outside, that's all you see are Japanese women, and they're everywhere, all on the trains, in the shopping centers, department stores, laundromats, and in cars, on the streets, everywhere, so only thing you got to do is just decide which one you want to talk to, which one is smiling at you, which one you want to talk to. As far as the jazz and stuff out here, jazz is big in Japan. It is huge. A lot of these girls know this jazz stuff. They listen to it, and they know these artists. There are a lot of jazz festivals and jazz concerts that they go to. So if you're out here, you'll fit in, I don't know how much jazz you know, but I know there are a lot of, like this one girl I know, she's a dancer and stuff, and she is real big into jazz, and she's always, sometimes we go to these jazz concerts together, and she'll, because I think I made a video about that, and she'll tell me about these artists and stuff. I don't know who they are, because I haven't even studied them and stuff, So as far as that, everything that you think you don't have in common, you do, because a lot of these girls out here, a lot of these women out here, they're very well educated and stuff, so, that's about it. So don't worry about it. Just do it. But, first concentrate on your school and stuff. That's more important. I'm out. Peace.